The morning light felt wrong, filtering through the heavy curtains of my new bedroom. I woke with a strange, aching tightness in my throat. When I looked in the vanity mirror, a dark necklace of bruises bloomed against my skin fingerprints, clear as day. But I had no memory of a hand, no nightmare to explain them away. It was as if a ghost had tried to choke me in my sleep. I tried to dismiss it, blaming the stress of the move, the unfamiliarity of this grand, echoing house. But the feeling of being watched, of not being alone, clung to me like a shroud. Downstairs, the day grew stranger still. The servants who had been so formal and distant yesterday now greeted me with an unsettling familiarity. But they didn't call me Elena. They called me Lygia. The first time I corrected the maid, a young girl with wide, fearful eyes. "My name is Elena," I said, forcing a smile. She just curtsied and scurried away, whispering, "My apologies, Lygia," under her breath. It happened again with the butler and then the gardener. Lygia. The name echoed in the hallways. A name that wasn't mine, yet it was being forced upon me. My husband, when I confronted him, simply laughed it off. "Old habits, my love," he'd said, his eyes not quite meeting mine. "The staff was very fond of my first wife, they'll adjust." But his explanation felt hollow, rehearsed. Days blurred into a confusing haze. The house itself seemed to conspire against me. Doors I knew I'd left open would be closed. Objects would move on their own. And the whispers, they started as faint murmurs at the edge of my hearing, like wind sighing through the eaves. But they grew clearer, forming a single haunting name, Lygia. I felt like I was losing my mind, a stranger in my own life, in my own skin. The staff's pitying glances only made it worse. They looked at me as if I were a fragile doll about to shatter. They looked at me the way one might look at a ghost. One rainy afternoon, drawn by a morbid curiosity I couldn't explain, I found myself wandering into the West Wing, the one part of the house my husband had forbidden me to enter. "It's for your own good, Elena," he had warned, his voice unusually stern. "That part of the house holds nothing but sad memories." But the whispers were louder here, pulling me forward. The corridor was cold, lined with portraits covered in white sheets, like shrouded corpses. At the very end of the hall was a single, ornate, full-length mirror. It was uncovered, gleaming in the dim light, almost beckoning me closer. My reflection stared back at me, pale and haunted. But as I looked, another figure slowly materialized behind me. It was a woman, her form translucent, ethereal. Her face was a canvas of old, faded bruises, a ghostly echo of the marks on my own neck. A delicate black veil covered the lower half of her face, but her eyes were filled with a profound, bottomless sorrow. And yet she was smiling, a sad, knowing, tragic smile. My heart hammered against my ribs, a trapped bird. Was this Lygia? Was this the ghost my husband was trying to protect me from? Trembling, I reached out and pressed my fingertips against the cold, unyielding glass of the mirror, right where her ghostly hand rested on my shoulder. The air grew frigid, and then a whisper, clear as a winter bell, echoed not from the mirror, but directly inside my mind. It was her voice, filled with an eternity of pain and a chilling warning. "He killed me too. Thank you for watching this dark tale unfold." If you're as captivated as I am, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss the chilling conclusion to The House That Married Twice. See you in the next video.